Hey, Thrasher here with this week's Neil Young news, and we're going to wrap things up for 2012 and talk a little bit about 2013. So, 2012, whoa, lots of wheat, lots of harvesting. We just put up on the blog, Thrashers Wheat, our summary of 2012 and what Neil has been up to over the past year, and we've done this for quite a few years now, and when we come to this point at the end of the year, we're usually pretty astonished by what's gone on. So we'll kind of run through this at a pretty high level here, and then turn our attention to what's next. But certainly the big news out of 2012, the reuniting of Crazy Horse and Neil Young. Something that we can't begin to tell you how much fans around the world have been excited about this. And when the news sort of broke early in the year, in January, there was that excitement. But right off the bat, it was not only had they reunited and recorded an album, but they were working on a second album. And of course, this spawned all sorts of discussion about tours. So all of this came to pass. The reunion happened. Albums were released. We certainly had the Americana come out, and then Psychedelic Pill. But kind of rolling back earlier in the year, it started off with their first performance together as a band in 7-8 years or so. They honored Paul McCartney for the Music Hairs event, and that was their first performance together as a band, and that was quite exciting. Then we, as we mentioned, we had the Americana come out, and then later on we had Psychedelic Pill come out. Lots of great videos associated with both of those albums, and of course great songs. Certainly probably one of our favorite highlights, along with many, the Ramada Inn. Folks have been talking about that. Great in concert, great in the album, great lyrics, great jam. Some other things that went on in the year that were kind of interesting. We had Neil Young, come on Twitter and answer questions. That was kind of neat. We had the Bridge School concert. Lots of great bands and sort of combinations. One of the things that was kind of remarked upon was "Don't Let It Bring You Down," which joined Guns N' Roses' Axl Rose and Neil Young. That was kind of cool and interesting. Check out that video if you haven't. What else do we have? Well, we had Neil's book, Waging Heavy Peace, and that was preceded by some publicity on that, where Neil Young was interviewed up in New York at a book expo by Patti Smith, and that was certainly an interesting combination. And then we saw Patti Smith open for Neil Young and Crazy Horse later on in the fall. What else do we have? We had the Journey's film that premiered and went theatrical run and came out on video. The third part of the trilogy with Jonathan Demme. We'll see what else comes out. And then we, of course, had the book come out, Waging Heavy Peace, Neil's autobiography, and lots of news, lots of coverage out of that book. I think everyone who was reading that, certainly that was a fan and knew Neil Young's work, one of the comments that you heard a lot was, how it felt like you were having a conversation with Neil. And I heard a lot of folks say at the end of the book, they just wished it kept on going. And certainly I think that's not something you typically hear when folks come to a conclusion of a book. They're usually ready to move on. But I think that certainly says a lot about the book, and certainly a first-time author there. Let's see. Then, we had a couple of other sort of newsy things. Neil was on David Letterman. He was on Jon Stewart. Then I guess we had the tour. We had the tour with Crazy Horse. Lots of anticipation on that, and they came together and rocked out. It was lots of coverage of that. We had the reviews or attended the shows, certainly here in North America. And then we had the announcements of the world tour continuing over into Europe and Australia and New Zealand for 2013. So much excitement there. So that's pretty much what we had there in 2012 for Neil Young and Crazy Horse. And sort of more, a little bit closer to home for us here at Thrashers Wheat, we've launched this radio program that you're listening to right now with our good friends WBKM up in Burlington, Vermont, and that's been quite exciting for us. Pretty cool, and we'll see what happens with the show as we evolve it in 2013. And I guess in terms of other things for 2013, besides the world tour continuing, it's hard to say. Lots of probably unexpected things. A year ago you probably would have been hard-pressed to come up with much on this list coming out, but what will we see? Will we have another Crazy Horse album? Will we have another film come out? Will we have another book come out? Will Link Volt finally hit the road? We'll see. But our hunch is that we might get another album. We might get another book. We might get another film. And Link Volt might finally hit the road. That's just our hunches, and we're probably going to be way off base. It'll probably be something completely different if we know how Neil Young works. But we'll wrap up here. Say happy holidays to everyone. Hope everyone had a good 2012. And wish everyone the best in the new year for 2013. So, peace and love here from Thrashers Wheat.